everyone. Today is another DIY Sunday, and today I've got 3 thrift flips. They're all really inexpensive, and they're items that you can generally find on a day-to-day basis inside a thrift store or a charity shop. And each one is really inexpensive to do. You just need some glue, some paint, maybe some baking soda if you want, and some dried flowers. So let's press on with the first project. And if you find yourself coming back to my channel time and time again and you haven't subscribed, can I ask you to, because I'm desperately trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And let's crack on. I picked this up from the thrift store. I paid $3 for this. First thing we're going to do is give this a paint. Let me show you the size of this. This is my head. So yeah, we're going to give this a nice little paint first. This is the color of choice. So I'm going to paint all over with this, and then we're going to go in with a darker color on some of these lines just to add some definition. So this took 3 coats. I'm really happy with the coverage. So now we're just going to go in with some detailing. Go in with the next shade up, basically. It's not too different, but just different enough that you can tell that there's some detailing. Sorry, that's the name of the color right there. I just wet my brush just ever so slightly because the paint isn't gliding on like I want it to. It's kind of getting stuck on the brush, so. Okay, this is the next project. I have this from the thrift store. I paid $3 for this. And then I have this little pot. I paid $2 for this. Now what I'm going to do is actually turn this upside down. And I am going to attempt to glue the pot onto the base. I'm going to use this glue, and fingers crossed this is going to work. So I'm going to take that wrap here off. And I'm going to glue. That's the first part of this project. So fingers crossed this glue is going to work. Okay, let's see roughly where this is going to need to be glued. That should work. All right, I'm gonna set that off to one side, and yep, that looks centered to me. Yeah, I'm gonna set that off to one side and let that glue. This glue worked pretty good, so I'm happy with that. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is go over with this color here. I'm just going to do an all-over colour and then see where we go from there. I'm not going to paint the inside of this because this is not going to be seen anyways. Done an all-over colour. I'm really happy with the coverage. I've got a completely dry brush here. I'm now going to go in with a slightly darker colour just to lightly brush over some of these raised areas. And then I think I'm going to go in with a lighter colour. I'm just going to dab my brush. I'm barely putting any paint on. I'm just going to kind of take it back off again. As you can see, it's a really light coverage. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep building up on this. So as you can see, I'm just going in with a lighter colour now, and I'm literally just dabbing the edge of my brush in and taking as much paint as I possibly can off and just wiping it on. And then on the other side of the paintbrush, I don't have any paint, and I'm just kind of like brushing it out again, almost like trying to remove the paint again after I've just put it on. So whilst this continues to dry, I'm going to place my little foam inside. I'm going to glue that down to allow that time to set. So once this is nice and dry, I can just carry on with the floral arrangement using some of this glue. Gone and got myself a smaller detailed brush, and this is just to pick out some of the details. I'm not going in with all of the details, just some of them. So this is the floral arrangement that I did last year. I just put it in a pot that I already had. And this is what I use for the center of my table. So I want to reuse these florals and just do a slightly different display. So let's deconstruct this. Okay, let me spin it around. This piece is sticking out too far. I think I need to adjust that. But other than that, I'm really happy with it. Right, let me redo this piece. Next I have these little leaves. I'm going to use the leaf as a template. Now I think I need to pull these plastic bits off so I can get these to lay really flat on the jug. And they appear to be coming off quite easily. So, oops, don't tear. Perfect. All right, so that's leaf number one. Let's see, I might not use the larger one, we'll see. Right, so yeah, that plastic came off really easily. So I'll discard that and let's see if this idea of mine works. So my idea is just to hold this in place and then just go around the edges. We'll see if this works. I'm gonna go in with a darker brown and hopefully that'll just be enough just to pick out the leaf shape. Let's just see how this works. Okay, so I just used a little bit of this paint. It looks sort of really similar to this color. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. I've dried my plate dry and I've also dried my brush pretty dry because I don't want this to run at all. So let's see if this works. Not sure. I think I'm going to press on, keep going with this idea and see what the finished look ends up looking like. What did you think of the projects? I hope you liked them. They were fun to do, really inexpensive, and they weren't that time consuming either. Some of my projects They're quite time consuming, but these were really nice, easy ones to do. And also the floral one, it doesn't have to be autumn. Now we're kind of transitioning into Christmas, so that could have been a Christmas project if you wanted. So I hope I've inspired you to do a project this week, and if you have, drop me a comment. I always reply to my comments. And welcome to the community, and I'll see you guys next Sunday, if not before. Okay, bye.